Let me talk for a second now about the subsidiaries. As I said, also mid-market companies have a lot of subsidiaries, and let me give you a short taxonomy of what these subsidiaries do, because pretty often I also have situations where customers are using something at the headquarter and they are using ByDesign at the subsidiary level. Normally, especially if it's a large SAP customer, I always recommend, if you're using SAP Business Suite or S4 at the headquarter level, consider first S4 also at the subsidiary level. The advantage is obvious. You can use the same data model, the same process model. But if you have a situation where the headquarter and the subsidiary are using similar processes, but the subsidiary is just using a much smaller subset, then it may be economically advisable to use something else. So if the subsidiary does the same business but at reduced complexity, what is key? Key is that they get a cost-effective solution. I know a lot of customers who say we spend a maximum of 10% of the earning before income tax on IT at a subsidiary level. Therefore, you have a certain financial corridor in which you have to deploy and build the solution. Time to go live is mostly not that relevant, but they need a solution which is easy to use. I have customers who said, have you ever tried to hire somebody in the Philippines, let's say, with good SAP know-how? These people either don't exist or they call themselves consultants. Therefore, whatever solution we want to deploy there, it must be easy to use. And it is key that the solution properly integrates into the environment that you're working in. Another scenario would be the subsidiary does a completely different business than the headquarter. That could be that, for example, I know one company from the oil industry where a subsidiary is in charge of the maintenance of petrol stations. That's a completely different, more project-based business. There it is very important that you can deploy a solution in a lightweight manner, which nevertheless is integrated. Joint ventures is a key topic, especially if it's still in an early stage of a joint venture. You can't load a lot of IT cost into a joint venture. Therefore, a cloud solution on a subscription basis is the perfect thing to have for such an environment. The same thing for mergers and acquisitions. I know companies who sell and buy companies by the dozen. When they decide to sell a company, they want to get them off of their corporate backbone as soon as possible, put them onto a ByDesign system, because you can't sell a company today without a working ERP system, and then sell them off in the market. The same thing when you acquire a company. The day you do it, you're in charge for their financials. And it may take too much time for you to get them first onto your corporate backbone. Therefore, the easier way may be get them first onto Business ByDesign so that you have control over all of the financials, and then in the second phase move them to S4 or SAP Business Suite. So these are the typical subsidiary scenarios that we see, and nearly every mid-market company that I'm working with has subsidiaries, and they helped me to come up with this classification to explain what is the role of the subsidiary, what is the business scope of the subsidiary, and why is Business ByDesign a good solution for that. With that, we come to the end of this chapter here on the subsidiaries, and I would like to hand over to Christoph Schneider, who will give you an update on end-to-end processes in Business ByDesign.